Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Inside Artesian Football here on WREP 15 Sports. I'm your host, Eric Meyer, joined as always by head Artesian football coach Carter Whitson. Coach, we've been off for a week. Hopefully you enjoyed your fall break.
Yeah, we had a good one. We talked about we don't really get a fall break. It's football season. But, we got some time off, some time to get back healthy and prepare for Franklin, a little work ahead. Sectional coming up this weekend as Martinsville gets set to battle Franklin in a rematch from earlier in the season, a mid-state conference foe. We'll talk about that with the head coach, Carter Whitson, and we'll also take a look at Martinsville's win the 5th straight as they defeat Plainfield right before the fall break. Coach, you guys were going into Plainfield looking to get a victory. It's exactly what you were able to do over the Quakers. Yeah, that was a good road win. You know, we beat Whiteland at their place for their homecoming game, and then we beat Plainfield at their place for their senior night. So those were two things that we were trying to knock off of our list of goals and accomplish something and kind of ruin some other people's night. So yeah, it was a good hard-fought win, kind of an ugly win for us, which was good to win ugly. We've blown some people out. We've kind of eased to some wins, but that was good to fight and have it come down to the last few minutes.
Had to fight through some things in the contest against Plainfield, and we talked on the show the week before the fact that it was kind of hard to really know what you were going to get out of Plainfield on Friday. They had some injuries. They had some players that weren't there, some playing in some different spots. They get the ball to start on the offensive end, and they take advantage on the first possession. Yeah,
they did. We were, we had to adjust to a few of the different guys that they had in there, and we knew they were going to play a more athletic quarterback, and they took advantage of that pretty early with a new scheme that we weren't quite ready to stop. Just a simple zone read, just hadn't worked it all week. And then, a good athlete makes a good play in the open field and long touchdown run. But our defense came back like they have all year, made some adjustments, got back in the right mindset, and played pretty well for the rest of the game.
For your team's credit as well, though, after that early score, defense, like you said, came back. The offense as well started clicking.
Yeah, we started out fast offensively, which was great to see. We got on a little roll for a little while where it didn't matter what they were doing. We were going to score. We just felt good about it. And then, defense does a great job of adjusting. Need to continue to do that through the playoffs.
Always talk about coaches being successful at all three phases of the game, and I think the Plainfield contest was a great illustration of that. You get the offense to get you off to the quick start. The defense then came on and held them. When the offense wasn't clicking, your special teams and Caleb Urban able to get you points.
I mean, you can't sing enough praises for him. He's, if you look at it, he's won us those 2 games that we beat people on the road and beat them on a homecoming, beat them on a senior night because of our kicker. Now, it's not just him because we're not going to give him the win or give him the loss if something bad happens. But he did his job, and he's been doing it all year very, very, very well. So it's encouraging whenever you get past the 50, like, all right, we got 3. Let's go try and get 7. So it's been fun for us.
Caleb able to hit a couple of field goals when your drives kind of stalled out to keep you guys the lead. The defense continued to keep you in the game, but then Plainfield made a little bit of a run on your defense there late. But the defense steps up when they need to, and really maybe more importantly than everything, they get an opportunity of something that you can't simulate in practice. It's that pressure. You can talk about it. You can put them in those situations and say, hey, there's 30 seconds on the clock. It's first and whatever. We need to stop. But until you actually get there, that's hard to be able to simulate.
Yeah, it really was, and it was good for us. If we're gonna go on a playoff run, which we are, we're gonna have to win another ugly game where it comes down to the wire, and we hadn't had that yet. So, we played Greenwood close, and we had Guerin close, but this was one that we were in the lead. Let's close it out. Take some time off the clock with offense, not necessarily go tempo. Play safe defense, but also be aggressive. It's kind of a borderline all the time. Whenever you're up a little bit, you want to do what you do that got you up, but also in the same way, you got to adjust because that clock's your friend.
You were able to hang on, get the victory over Plainfield. Let's take a look at some of the highlights of the contest against the Plainfield Quakers on Friday.
Start out right there using our athletes in space. Corbin Williams absolutely destroys that guy. I think he got benched pretty quick after that because Corbin just made him look pretty goofy. Here we go, running the ball really well. I thought our offensive line played well. They continue to get better each week. They've had a good week of practice. Really encouraged by those guys. Love that 4 of them are coming back for next year too. There's Jonathan sprinting out, again, moving the pocket, making it hard on defensive line, getting the ball to another senior, Corbin Williams. Corbin's had a great year. He's hard to tackle when he gets the ball. Here's a huge 3rd down conversion to Darius Stillman running a vertical route right there. Haven't shown that a whole lot, but that was pretty good. Now Jonathan pulls it on his own read. Jonathan is feeling more and more comfortable with our offense each week. Having the ability to pull it and run. I know he can throw it, but he's such a great athlete. It's good to see him do that too. Defensively, man, our defensive line did great. Linebackers played well enough and just kind of gave us a chance. There's Brandon Dodson running it. Brandon had a great game. Isaac had a great game. And this is our plan right here. We get them out in space, and we felt like we had better athletes than them. We felt like we could block. If we blocked in space, we were going to have a chance. Deep ball right there. This is Jonathan giving Matt a chance to come up and make a play. We've got those 2 big, tall wideouts out there. Sometimes I say, don't overthrow them, just give them a chance. A little sprint out down here, down in the boundary, or down in the tight zone. Got the matchup we wanted with Darius. Good touchdown. There's our quarterback. He's a good athlete. First guy wasn't going to tackle him, but we did a great job of rallying to it and tackling him with 3 or 4 guys. That's just awesome to see when there's a bunch of white jerseys on the guy. A little play action. Jonathan makes a great read. They cover the post, so he hits his check down. Good little first down. Kind of a wrinkle that we haven't shown a whole lot. It was really mature and good to see Jonathan make that. There's Isaac Osborne. Isaac's back healthy, playing really well. Wish he got in right there, but we flipped quarters and his buddy Brandon Dodson gets in. Those 2 are having a blast playing tailback together. We've got a little 20 personnel package to where they're back there and they're having fun and encouraging each other. Chase Havlin and Ben Marino wrecking havoc, kind of like normal. Pretty good to see. There's Jacob Burkett coming in at the end of the play. Ben Balsarak had a great game. Kyle Dawson right there, man. Kyle just keeps fighting. Kind of a smaller guy, but just makes some great plays. There's Jonathan kind of doing what he does. He has the ability to make some plays with his feet to create some time to get the ball to our weapons. Corbin right there. Great read by Brandon right there. Good peel back block by Darius. Just good physical run. Getting 12 yards on a run to get us into field goal range was a huge play right there. Because we knew we didn't want to punt it, and we weren't going to kick a 56-yarder, so to get those positive yards was awesome. Here we go. Our special teams played well. They did get a fake punt on us that I wasn't really happy with, but we've kind of made some adjustments and prepared for that now. And again, we don't do very much offensively, but with our defense and our special teams, we get the ball in field goal range, and Caleb does what he does. Quarterback with a little sprint out. Just a really good play right there by Jacob Burkett. Jacob keeps playing better and better. He stopped playing like a sophomore, and he's now one of our leaders on defense that we trust, and we know he's going to be in the right place at the right time. Ben Marino and JT. Josh Tomlinson had a good game playing inside linebacker, kind of quarterbacking our defense, making the calls. And then we get to what we're doing. We want to run the ball downhill. We want to get it outside on them a little bit. Little trick play here. Jonathan makes a really good play. We were going to fake cut the D-line, and we actually cut the D-line, so they were back there ready for that screen. So it wasn't as pretty as we designed it, but it was a good play by good athletes. Getting the ball to Andy Myers. Andy's another one of our weapons as a sophomore. Really excited about his future. He made a good play. And there's Jonathan pulling it again, using his feet, getting us in the end zone.
Able to get in. Your defense then comes up with some stops at the end as Plainfield made a little bit of a rally. But like we said, overall, a very, very good 5th straight victory for the Artesian.
Yeah, it was. It was just, it wasn't our goal to win 5 in a row, but when we got to that point, it was just 0-0, try and win each week. get that momentum ready to go for sectionals.
We talked about this earlier in the season as sectionals were coming around, that it's a little bit different in Indiana, and the fact that everybody gets into the sectionals. So what you do in the regular season record-wise is irrelevant. You obviously want to build some momentum, and that's exactly what you guys have done. We had that conversation right before we went on the win streak, and now here we are, 5 straight. Sectional play coming up. Let's talk a little bit before we get to Franklin, talk about what preparation went on, what you guys were able to do with that week off. 5A, 6A, most of the teams get a week off. What were you guys able to do with the week off in preparation?
We slowed it down a little bit. We used it to get healthy. We kept our conditioning up. We ran a little bit. We practiced 3 days out of the 5. On Friday, we actually had them in the swimming pool. Got them a little water aerobics. Had a little belly flop contest. Had some fun. We focused in on Franklin, started to get a head start, but we also focused on ourselves, making sure that we were healthy and ready to go for a playoff run.
Who wins the belly flop contest?
I think I did, actually.
You did? All right, that's awesome. When the head coach wins the belly flop contest. Not Hunter Stout?
No, I don't think Stout won it. No.
But you're able to have some fun with kids, build some of that team camaraderie, and that's really important as well.
Yeah, we did. I mean, those guys, we've had fun all year. That's what I talked about when I took this job, and I think they're still having fun. We meet as a staff before every day, before every practice, and the team's in the team room, and it's just a ruckus in there while we're meeting. They're having a blast. We got some clowns in there that can entertain you pretty good. We'll have some paper, rock, scissors contests, some cornhole contests. It's pretty fun.
That's a good time for the kids, time to bond, time to take some of that bonding out onto the field, band of brothers, if you will. People talk about that a lot, really important in any sport, especially in football when so many people are critical to the contest and the outcome of the game.
Right.
You guys coming up, though, on Friday, we'll have Franklin. It's still a rematch between you guys and the Grizzly Cubs, a game that you won earlier in the season. Let's talk first about what do you notice different about Franklin? Anything maybe they're doing differently or how maybe they've grown, also a young team coming in?
Yeah, I think if you look back at week 5, at us and at them, at this point in time, we're both completely different teams. It's their first year there with Coach Cole and his staff, and they're doing a good job. Their kids are playing really hard. They've had some hard-fought games where they haven't come out on top, but they're playing better. They're really good special teams-wise. They've got some different little gimmicks that they can do that really stress you out, so we've had to focus in on that this week. But they got the big quarterback back there that they're going to throw some RPOs, some quick stuff. They're not a huge drop back and complicated schemes passing wise, but they got him back there. He'll pull it down and scramble. He's hard to tackle, so they're going to do what they do. They're going to run it with their big tailback and use their big quarterback throwing it a little bit, but they haven't changed a ton offensively or defensively. Defensively, they've had some guys switch positions, but it's kind of the same crowd back there. The coach's kid was playing safety versus us, and throughout the year, he's now moved to Mike linebacker, so a good long Mike linebacker that can make some plays. So, a little bit of adjustment there, but their schemes haven't changed too much.
You talked about them growing and changing, you guys growing and changing. What has been the biggest growth or some of the biggest changes you've seen in your team and your players here in that 5-week span?
I just think it's fun to see the confidence. We've talked about this week, it's hard to beat someone twice because maybe you're a little overconfident. And we've talked about it all week. And our kids, their best answer was, Coach, we're not overconfident. We're confident in what we do. We're confident in our preparation and what the plan is, and that's why we feel good. We're not sitting here being cocky. So to see that confidence grow, to get some success for these guys that haven't had it, has been really fun for us.
You talked about the preparation, the confidence coming from the preparation. What are the things you guys are focusing on that you're going to have to do well on Friday to win and advance in the tournament?
Yeah, we look at, we've looked at the weather a little bit. If it rains, it's really not going to affect us. We're both similar offenses. What we really have to do is run the ball well. We have to run the ball. We got to get outside. We got to go downhill. We got to take advantage of our athletes out in space. And then, vice versa, we have to stop the run. We got to make them one-dimensional, make those guys try and spread us out and throw it where we can get our weapons out on the field defensively, our best athletes to cover their athletes. We feel like we can match up pretty well when we do that. So running the ball, winning the game up front is going to be the key, our O-line and our D-line. If we can win with those guys, we'll have a good chance.
Should be fun out there. It'll be exciting for you guys.
Yeah.
I know you had a little bit of nerves before the first game. Now the sectional coming around, and I'm sure you guys will be fired up, the coaching staff and the kids as well.
Yeah, it's been fun. There's a different buzz when it's playoff time. There's a different mindset for us coaches. We've done it before, and we've gone on playoff runs. I won a state championship when I was a junior,
Right.
and we've had other guys that have had similar success like that. So there's a different energy. There's a different buzz. We're really excited. I think there'll be a great crowd out there excited to host a sectional game. I think our community's ready to come out. Cowbell Nation will be crazy.
All right, Coach, we appreciate it. We'll see you there on Friday.
All right, no problem.
That's Artesian head coach Carter Whitson here inside Artesian football. Martinsville coming up. They begin sectional play Friday night at home at Ciderwoods Field in a rematch against the Franklin Grizzly Cubs. Get out and support the Artesians. As always, I'd like to thank the head coach Carter Whitson for coming in. For Coach Whitson, along with the advanced broadcasting class who produced it, I'm Eric Meyer. We'll see you again next time inside Artesian football.